2 seconds to go. Brunson turns, puts it up for the win. It's off the rim.
Man, I nearly had a heart attack watching that Jalen Brunson shot go down, nearly go down, and somehow rolled around the basket and rimmed off. Like, I just had a bad feeling when he took that shot. You hear Adam Amin say, Brunson for the win. Like, we've seen Brunson have so many deadly finishes in the NBA, which he almost had even in this game when he actually scored the go-ahead bucket inside with 4.6 seconds left to go to give the Knicks a 2-point lead. With the way things were trending, and the Bulls making some very poor decisions down the stretch with some untimely turnovers and ill-advised shots, I just thought there was no way they were going to be able to execute a final play for the tie or for the win. But sure enough, thanks to Josh Hart being a little too aggressive and trying to contest Coby's three, which was probably a bit of a questionable call. Like, had the Knicks had the ability to challenge that, it could have been overturned, but Tom Thibodeau had already used his challenge earlier in the game. They couldn't challenge that foul. Coby gets sent to the line, sinks 3 clutch free throws to give them the lead, and then of course, you guys all know what happened. The basketball gods somehow blessed us by pushing that ball off the edge of the rim in the Knicks' attempt to win the game. Let's be real, it shouldn't have gotten to this point, where the game came down to the wire when the Bulls had that meltdown towards the end of the third quarter where they were up by as many as 22 points and then ultimately closed out the quarter with a 5-point lead after an insane run by the Knicks. And then of course the Knicks eventually regained the lead for a period of time in the fourth. They never led by much. I believe their largest lead was by 3 points, but yeah, letting them back into the game like that and having it happen so quickly wasn't something you want to see after the Bulls played so well in that first half to blow up that lead. That said, this is the NBA today. No lead is safe at any point in the game. Hell, the Bulls have shown that to be the case when they themselves have come back after being down 20 plus points already 3 times this season. The third quarter collapse aside though, this was an incredible game for the Bulls. And I'll even say that the fact that the Bulls, despite blowing a big lead on the road, momentum completely shifting to the Knicks, the crowd getting loud and back into it, for a younger team, you could have very well expected them to crumble and fold under the pressure and just get obliterated in the fourth quarter, but no, they maintained their composure, kept fighting, and found a way to win. The Bulls shot the ball well, 53% overall, shot decently well from deep, going 14 for 36, even though they definitely cooled off from behind the arc in the second half. They moved the ball well, they attacked the Knicks in the paint knowing that Karl-Anthony Towns is not a good interior defender. They pushed the pace knowing the Knicks are dead last in the league in pace while the Bulls are first. I was surprised the Bulls didn't get up as many threes knowing they were going up against a low 3-point rate team, and that's something the Bulls have done well this season, but the Knicks ended up actually taking more threes than the Bulls did. Now, it did get to the point that towards the end of the game, the Knicks just kept attacking inside, which has kind of been expected when teams have been playing against the Bulls. They just attack the paint, knowing the Bulls are one of the worst interior defending teams in the NBA. And it almost became kind of a joke just how easy the Knicks were scoring the ball at the basket in those final minutes. Now, the Bulls were also converting on the other end, so it didn't really hurt them as much when the teams were just trading baskets and the Bulls had the lead. But then we started to see some of those old bad forming habits in the clutch that make you want to pull your hair out, namely from Zach Lavine. Now, I'm not going to disparage Lavine too much here because outside of those final minutes, he had an incredible game, probably the best of his season. But taking that really bad 3 when the Bulls were up by 4 with 1:45 to go, so much time left on the shot clock. It was a deep 3 with Anunoby right on him, just not a good shot. Like, you have to have better presence of mind to set up a better play than to try to pull some hero ball when you're already up 2 possessions with less than 2 minutes to go. Then the Knicks score back-to-back baskets to tie the game. Lavine takes the ball down on the other end. Now it's less than 2 minutes to go, and he turns the ball over on a bad pass that goes out of bounds. The Knicks then take the lead on the other possession. He comes back down, nearly turns it over yet again when he goes to the basket, gets up in the air, has nowhere to go, throws it to Ayo, who's falling out of bounds, and the Bulls get bailed out by a foul to tie the game. I mean, if the Bulls don't win this one, if they don't get that bailed out foul on Dosunmu and then later on Coby White's foul, the way Zach Lavine is viewed in this game is going to be very different despite his incredible performance otherwise. But the Bulls won, so it's all good. Like I said, he had arguably his best game of the season where he put up a very efficient 31 points on just 17 shots, goes 12 for 17, 4 for 8 from 3, 7 rebounds and 8 assists. Dude nearly got a triple-double at MSG. He did have 6 turnovers, which the Bulls still struggle with their overall turnover rate, having 18 tonight, but he was a team-high plus 21. How's that for impact, even though he almost cost the Bulls the game there at the end? Hopefully the other 29 teams around the league didn't see that when it comes to his overall trade value, or I should say 28 teams, since clearly the Knicks saw it. Speaking of trade value though, another great game for Nikola Vucevic. Now defensively he was horrible, just basically letting Cat get whatever he wanted, who exploded for a season high 46 points, but that's nothing new for Vucevic. On offense though, he punished Cat in the post, who is also horrible on defense with one of the worst field goal percentages allowed in the restricted area in the NBA. Vooch finishes the game with 19 points, 9 for 14 from the floor, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block, and plus 14 on the night. Man, Patrick Williams got hot early and put up 11 points in the first 6 minutes, I believe it was, where you thought he was going to go for a career high in this game, but then only finished with 18. That said, he had a really great game though. Was physical on defense, aggressive on offense, was much more efficient than we've seen in recent games, going 6 for 9 and 3 for 4 from 3 to go along with 6 rebounds. Like I said in my last couple post-game videos, seeing Pat play like this with more assertiveness and doing it consistently, as long as we continue to see that, we continue to see him making progress, that's all I can really ask for at this point. Now, Josh Giddey in this game, coming into it, had 3 triple-doubles playing at Madison Square Garden. Didn't come close to that in this game. And you think, only scored 5 points, missed a lot of shots, only 2 rebounds, which is uncharacteristically low for Giddey, 6 assists, but this was actually his highest box plus minus game that he's had in the season, where he was a plus 19 in the night. Now, a lot of that was because he was on the bench when the Knicks went on a crazy run in the third quarter, but Giddey was impacting the game well when he was on the court in this one, despite it not necessarily showing up in the box score. Once again, though, Billy Donovan opted for Dosunmu down the stretch, who had a great game, by the way, 16 points, 5 for 8, 6 assists, and 2 steals. But yeah, again, you need guys that can play sound defense in close game situations, and Ayo is going to make more sense there over Josh Giddey. Oh, I didn't even mention Coby White. You know, Coby and Zach were kind of like opposites in this game, because while Zach dominated throughout, with the exception of the final 2 minutes, Coby didn't have that great of a game, where he shot the ball poorly and had some really bad turnovers, but then was the most clutch player in those final minutes, hitting that huge 3 to put the Bulls up by 4 to silence the crowd after the Knicks pulled to within 1, and then of course, calmly hitting those 3 free throws to seal it. 6 for 16 from the floor, but a perfect 8 for 8 from the free throw line. 22 points, Coby came through in the clutch for the Bulls. Oh, and then Modest Buzelis, look, I know he went 1 for 6, 0 for 3 from 3, but seeing Modest get some quality minutes and seeing him be more aggressive and getting to the hoop and taking shots we would otherwise see him pass up was a great sign in him gaining more confidence when he's out there. And then of course, that throwdown dunk on the cut he had got me out of my seat. Also 3 blocks and 4 rebounds in 12 minutes. Yeah, I need to see more Modest minutes. The more time he gets on the court, the better he's gonna get. So anyway, Bulls win. They beat the Knicks, a franchise that I can't stand, so it's a good news day. I'll take it. Now the Bulls will play their first NBA Cup game against the Cavs. Maybe this time they will hand them their first loss of the season. In the meantime though, guys, as always, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.